education is the great equalizer. And we know that a lot of our students, especially the ones who have immigrated, came here for opportunities and for the opportunity to be successful. So I remember the first time I met Ms. Calderon, and it was at our new teacher luncheon that we have. And so I met Ms. Calderon along with a lot of the other teachers, but she immediately stood out. She was extremely positive. She told me how excited she was to be bringing her skills and her talents to Sarah King. She is an international teacher, so she was new to the United States as well as to our campus.
One way that I've seen Ms. Calderon build bridges in the classroom is that she's always finding ways to relate to the kids in little ways, and it's really important to us that they get their schoolwork done. I also noticed that she has conversations with them about how their weekend was, or about different parts of their interests, or she's always making jokes. I always hear laughing, and there's just different ways that they can have fun in the classroom and connect as people rather than just teacher-student.
Ms. Juarez, it's her first year here at Moore Elementary School, and as I do my learning walks through the campus, I see her very inviting with the students. She's out to reach students, she's out to mentor. She works extremely well with my city year staff and always has an open door to work with anybody.
Her classroom management is excellent. She really gives students their own autonomy, acknowledging that they are 8 years old and they aren't going to be perfect. So she gives them a lot of chances to correct their behavior on their own. I think one of the biggest things I have learned from Ms. Juarez is patience. I have found it really difficult to be patient with working with the younger students because I've never had to do it before. But I think just seeing her and being so understanding, but also the accountability thing, keeping them accountable, but also understanding their age and their own experiences, I think that's something that I can really take with me.
So, kids in general, in my opinion, are very resilient. But one of the things I've noticed in my 25 years as an educator is that whenever you have consistency in a classroom with a teacher, that is invaluable. And Mr. Perez does a great job of making sure that kids feel like they're part of something special. And he does a great job of making sure that those expectations are high always.
I think the things that core members learn from Mr. Perez is his consistency, also his work ethic. He really is patient with students. Patience really translates, and it strengthens the relationships that he has with his students, because his students realize that when Mr. Perez talks to me, he is trying to understand me first, and that makes the students more willing to work with him. And I think that can rub off on anyone, whether you're a teacher, a core member, or anyone else at this school.
So Teacher Rusan is an 8th grade reading language arts teacher. This is her first year. She is in her teaching program. So she's really hit the ground getting her feet wet. I think she has good relationships with just all staff members, administration. Of course, teaching is very different now than what it used to be. It is very tough. So to come in and be able to weather the storm the way she has, I think she's really done a phenomenal job with that.
She cares so much. She's one of those teachers that doesn't like to see any of her kids fail. And like I said, working in education is hard to realize that, you can't save every kid, but Teacher Rusan is one of those teachers that believes she can save every kid. So it's awesome working with her.
Ms. Flores has shown me the importance of consistency. Me growing up, I didn't have a very consistent household. And for my students, a lot of them don't have a consistent household. And so for her to be consistent every single day and showing them that she cares every single day, it's very inspiring to me, and it shows me a lot of dedication that she puts forward. She's very realistic with the students, and the students understand that because not a lot of people can be realistic. And as soon as she tells them that there's a situation, that's up to the student to whether they want to fix it or not. The first thing that she implements is you have to learn from your mistakes, and it's your decision to see where you go from there.
Mr. Diaz has been teaching math for 10 years at Tafoya, actually. He's been a teacher there for 10 years, and he enjoys working with the kids. Mr. Diaz has one particular student who struggles with showing up on time, and I've seen him work with the student one-on-one, this is why it's important, this is why I need you here. There's been other instances where there's other students that he may not have in class, but maybe he's going to have them next year. And you can see him building those relationships. Him being a coach for all the different sports also helps him to build those relationships. And he has those students that just respect him, and they just listen because they see that his intent is to support them and help them be the best.
To be honest, I've never seen a teacher teach the way that he has. Even coming up the way that I have with my different teachers, Mr. Diaz has a style of his own, and he does it through repetition, where the students know exactly what they're gonna do. As soon as they come in, there's no surprises, no nothing. And he knows which ones that he has to focus on.
Miss Vargas loves math. She knows math, she loves math, but more importantly than that, she loves students. So she's not only teaching the content, she's teaching students.
Miss Vargas is such a team player, and she just has a big heart. And anytime you're around her, her smile is so infectious. Meaning, even before she would wear her mask at the beginning, but now she's starting to take it off. You can really see her personality shine through. But she is a very loving and warm person, and I just love to be around her. And she is a great asset in our PLCs and for our department.
She's definitely shown me that whenever we see a student struggling, not only with their work, but more so mentally or emotionally, she's kind of taught us to take a deep breath and to actually help that kid and focus on that. Because as much as we're all about the coursework, at the end of the day, we want to make sure we are taking care of our students.
So the first time I met Ms. Flores was 4 years ago. She was an Algebra 1 teacher, continues to be an Algebra 1 teacher at Lanier. And what caught my attention was how young she was. And I thought, wow, this is an individual that's in the classroom in a very high stakes area. Mathematics is traditionally a challenging subject for all students in all schools. And she was as cool as could be, knew her material, extremely confident about her presentation skills, and was very committed to her vision of what should be happening in classrooms, and never has once wavered from her high expectations of students.
From what I've seen from her, it's a lot of just communicating with them. So a lot of these kids just don't have people to talk to, and just having that simple conversation of like, hey, what music do you like? What video games do you like to play? Like stuff like that just helps get them more engaged back into like school and like wanting to learn.